And hi there, we are back, and I am here with Charlotte from Artium. Charlotte, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Very excited to have a conversation.
And this is what I am actually very excited about with Charlotte, is that this is Charlotte's first NAB. So, congratulations, Charlotte. This is your first NAB. What are you finding? How are you finding the show?
So I'm amazed by just like how big and exhaustive it is and how welcoming and friendly everybody is. Definitely a lot of different sentiment as it comes to some of the talks that I've been attending, like around Gen AI and things like that. But overall, really impressed and happy with the experience I've had so far.
Okay, and so can you talk a little bit about what does Artium do? Why are you here at the show with Artium?
So we're a software consultancy. We build custom software. It could be mobile apps, web apps, and now more specifically, we're diving into stuff with Gen AI. So as I look to where, which industries are having a lot of interest in Gen AI, I saw that media and entertainment is one of those areas, albeit mixed feelings towards it. So that's why I decided to come. I wanted to get a better understanding of, what people's thoughts are and where the opportunities lie and how we can maybe help address some of the concerns or reservations people have around this new technology.
Yeah, that's so great. And so are you looking at other verticals as well besides media entertainment when you're looking at your software, utilizing your software and putting that together with Gen AI? Because I think one of the things that I have always thought is really interesting about our industry is like how much we actually will take things from other verticals. And I mean, I think it's, all across the board. Other verticals will take things from us. It's just like all over the place. So what trends are you seeing in other spaces that you're finding might be helpful in this space?
Yeah, so definitely I'd say healthcare, retail, and e-commerce, they're definitely looking to leverage generative AI. And in terms of the most common use case that I'm seeing, it's actually how do we make the search for consumers or people within a company a much more effective, faster, more fun experience, right? So keyword search is kind of rudimentary compared to what Gen AI can offer, right? Yep. People can find it much more quickly and they can use natural language to get more insights from the technology. And so that's the most common use case I'm seeing is like, how do we make search more effective, more fun, and more consumable for people inside and outside the organization? Yeah,
and I think that's such a great point because there's this talk about media entertainment and that we're in flux. And the thing that I just always think about is that media is everywhere. So it doesn't matter if it's television or film, media is everywhere, right? So it's in retail, it's in healthcare, it's everywhere that you go. And as we kind of step into more of like this immersive world that we're stepping into, you're going to see media in all sectors. So I think it's so great that you're able to take that knowledge from those other verticals and kind of apply it here too and see like what resonates with you. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. I hadn't really thought about it like that, but you're right. Media is absolutely everywhere around us. We all have things that we can learn across industries, and in general as a company where we like to say that we're sort of like industry agnostic because we focus on the technology and then we partner with our clients to understand like what are the specific things that you're trying to call for. One of the things I've been interesting from my talks here is that all the speakers tend to be very optimistic when it comes to this new technology that's coming in, but people on the ground are still very fearful. And so one of the things that I'd like to see happen more is this more empathetic approach to the types of conversations we're having with people that are a little bit more resistant and afraid when it comes to how they're going to be impacted by this new technology. Because I think that's where we'll see much better adoption and people adapting to the technology if they feel like they're really being heard versus just being told like, well, progress and change is inevitable and you got to adapt or you're going to die. Or, it's like, how can we have better, more effective conversations with people on the ground to make a lasting, more positive transition to this new technology?
Yeah, I think that was so well said, and I think it is. It's like, how can we all be a little bit more curious about the technology that's around us and not be as afraid of it? I think a lot about when films were shot on film and it went to digital and people were so worried about it going on to digital. And then guess what? Here we are, and it's being shot on digital, and we're all okay, and we all survived. And obviously there's still stuff that is being shot on film, and there's room for both. And so I think that's where it's so exciting right now in this world that we're in. So yeah, so I love what you're doing, basically, that you're looking and exploring and piecing things together. I think that's very cool.
It's so important to be curious because there's always more to learn, and what I've observed as well is that people's perspective tends to be relative to what their experience has been, right? Yeah. So if you've been in the industry for like 10 years or less, then you're going to be probably more prone to changing and adapting because you came in when things were less, already like pretty mature. But if you've been in the industry for much longer, like the transitions and changes are much larger. So Yeah, people tend to sort of compare what their experience is relative to like what they've lived through
Yes.
without necessarily having the broader perspective of like, well, how were things looking, 50 years ago, to your point, right? So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if people can also look at it from that perspective, it will help ease them through this transition.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, Charlotte, thank you so much for being game to talk with me and
Absolutely.
talk about this, because I think it's so fun. We could talk all day, I think, about Gen AI and where it's going and
Absolutely.
media in the world.